So anyway, my thoughts are like, I think we need to stop looking at art as kind of as subversive art as like all or nothing, where if this doesn't cause the revolution, then disregard it, right? Then it's trash, then it's not, it's not worth like we can't have any enjoyment of it. Because it's not that. Like that's not how we should look at performance. That's not how we should look at music and art. But also especially not at the Super Bowl halftime show. So I thought that Kendrick, he used some cool imagery. I don't think it was particularly deep, but again, I understand that. Like, I looked at that and went, it's the Super Bowl halftime show. I didn't expect more than what we got. And the bravest moment of the night, truly the revolution will be televised moment of the night, was the performer who was hired to be part of the field. So there was like hundreds of people who are not not the main dancers, but they are hired to like be in the field. He was hired about a month ago, and he has had this planned. And so this guy had a lot of opportunities to back out, and he still did what he did. And he is banned from the NFL for life, which, oh no. But he got the message that he wanted to get across. So let's
Now, a producer turned protester has raised Palestinian and Sudanese flags in front of thousands during rapper Kendrick Lamar's...
I think it also isn't as deep to people like us who already understand the message he was trying to send. Yes. Now, I know it was confusing to some people like XQC, what Kendrick was saying with the imagery of his show. But yeah, I think it's something that, again, subversive does not equal necessarily revolutionary. So you can have imagery and music and lyrics that is, that is thought-provoking, that is cool, that is, that isn't just playing it 100% safe, but it doesn't mean that it is necessarily profound and revolutionary. But for some people, I guess it's too much. Some people really either didn't understand it, which is crazy because you had dancers who made up the American flag fall into a swastika. I don't think that that's that complicated to get, but I guess maybe it is. And then you had, of course, a lot of people claiming that it was the worst halftime show of all time, which is crazy to say. I do find it interesting that most of the people who say it was the, and I'm quoting here, worst Super Bowl halftime show of all time, not just like, I didn't care for it, or I was underwhelmed, worst halftime show of all time. It's interesting that a lot of those people have something in common. They think U2 is better. I mean, really, it's like, should we revisit every single Super Bowl halftime show since 1993 when Michael Jackson changed the game? Because there's a lot of shit ass shows in between 1993 and 2025. I'm sorry, but are you really going to tell me that you think Maroon 5 is better than Kendrick Lamar? Really? Sunday morning is what gets you going? I'm gonna disrespectfully disagree. As somebody who in 7th grade had Maroon 5 on my green iPod, so I think I think I can stand on this ground, okay? I think I can speak on this topic, all right? No one tops Prince. In my opinion, the greatest Super Bowl halftime show was Prince. I agree with you. With no peace and no love, no way is JT or Maroon 5 better than Kendrick. Yeah, or just like the like the bevy of aging rock stars in like the early 2000s who really do you need to, like seriously, should we go back and revisit a lot of these performances? I think people might when they think of the halftime show, I don't okay, but here's the funny thing too is like I know that the Aiden Rosses and all these dudes who said this was the worst halftime show of all time, like I know that they are not holding this up to like Beyonce, okay? I don't see these guys as you know, Kendrick is bad in relation to a Beyonce or like I'm trying to think of who else, you know, major spectacle. Yeah, maybe like maybe they would say The Weeknd. The Weeknd seems to be someone who I think would have appeal for the people online saying that Kendrick's is the worst show of all time. But anyway, the other thing is that Kendrick Lamar is Kendrick Lamar. He is not a guy who does costume changes. He's not a guy who's gonna like pull a pink and fly through the air, or like come in riding a lion like Katy Perry. That's not what he does. Like, can you fucking imagine Kendrick Lamar coming in on a lion? And it's not to say that Pink doing the crazy flying shit isn't super cool, but I think that there are people who watch the Super Bowl halftime show and have in mind one exact way that the Super Bowl halftime show should be. This is my favorite analysis about his jeans. Yeah. Wearing jeans was crazy, I have to say. As somebody who really hates wearing jeans when I have to move at all. Like not a fan of jeans if I have to move around. Although these do look like comfortable jeans.
He's too short, whatever. Everybody has an opinion. What I don't see people talking about is the history and the symbolism of bell-bottom jeans and how this may have been a very intentional creative choice for this performance. Bell-bottoms were originally a military style. Here are Navy sailors from the 1800s wearing their bell-bottoms. These had a purpose. They were easier to take off in the water. They were easier to roll up.
Here's the thing. This is the type of analysis that I think that I think someone like XQC is looking at, and like not that I think he's watching this, but he's going, how am I supposed to know that? Where it's like, okay, that was not like Kendrick's performance does not require a knowledge of history in the way that this woman who's making this Instagram video has, right? It's like, did you really not understand anything in the show? Like you didn't get the American flag into the swastika or Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, you know?
In case they had to go into water. So there was these weren't like a fashion choice. These were utilitarian. In the mid-60s, military style became mainstream as a way to protest the Vietnam War. People were wearing bell-bottom jeans in America to express their discontent with politics, with the government and with the way that society was heading. Bell-bottoms symbolized freedom, self-expression, counterculture,
I got it. Can I be honest? I think she's going a little too far.
rebellion. This era was marked by
going a little too
activism, the
far.
women's rights movement, the civil rights movement, the anti-war movement, the Black Power movement. All of these movements were happening.
I think he just likes those jeans. I gotta be honest.
In the 60s. Even though bell-bottoms have fallen in and out of style over the years, they do have this historical association with speaking out against injustice and with activism. This show was a political statement. And Kendrick performed this show in front of the President of the United States. So I think these jeans may have been an intentional part of the creative narrative. In case you're wondering, the brand he wore...
It is literally giving the curtains are blue.
So if you want to go spend $1,200 on a pair of jeans, I mean, it's your money, not mine. By the way, this photo, this is going to live on my phone. And when I'm feeling extra petty, I'm just going to start texting it out. Kendrick Lamar's bell-bottom.
Yeah, okay. See, that is I hate to do like the friend who's too woke meme, but it sometimes it's a just because we could doesn't mean we should type of thing. But anyway, FD Signifier's take is one I agree on. What was his take? There was a lot of intentional choices and also a lot of not intentional choices. Yeah, I love the idea that there's no such thing as Kendrick just having liked those jeans, and instead there's an entire, there's entire historical analysis behind why he chose those jeans.